Today we're doing something I never do, and that is doing a fashion photo shoot with natural light. What is going on, everybody? If you're new around here, my name is Finn Badgley. I'm a commercial fashion portrait photographer and all-around content creator. And today, yes, you read that right, I am doing a natural light shoot and taking you behind the scenes so you can see what that process is like for somebody who pretty much never shoots natural light. I kind of light just about everything. Unless I take like casual film photos of just like moments, I am very particular about lighting literally everything. You'll see in my other behind the scenes videos, I always have some kind of strobe, some kind of light of some kind going on, usually more than one. And that's just because I absolutely love light. I love interacting with it and seeing how it works. But this shoot, we threw all that away and used just the sun in the sky. Also, I threw this on today and there is a funky little, like this, I pulled the sleeves up, but then it rolled down. So now I got this like funky quarter sleeve thing going on. I should stand up so you can see. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's kind of a vibe. Let me know what you think. Yeah, style tips, apparently. Happy accidents. Bob Ross would be proud of this fit, I think, because it's a happy accident, not because Bob Ross dressed like this. Can you imagine if Bob Ross dressed like this, like blinged out, chains, the whole deal? That would be interesting. So this was quite a bit into the afternoon and the sun had gone down quite a bit, but we were getting a nice natural light coming in from the windows here. Now, I love a good backlight and a good side light. And that is exactly what we had to work with here. So I was kind of still in my element. This was just a very large, soft light source. Imagine rather than working with a light that you position it, you just have one giant soft light and you position your model around that. And it just so happened that where I wanted her position for the most part was to the side and that kind of thing. So we got some standing photos, we got some sitting poses, played around with it a lot, but you'll notice pretty much I never front lit her here. That would have been me having my back to the actual window itself and shooting her. Plus also the background, if I looked that way, just didn't look quite as good anyways. So it naturally led to this kind of framing. But Emily understood the assignment super well because she killed it. You can see from these photos, she's got that attitude. We're still keeping a similar vibe to the earlier outfit if you watched part one of this. If not, after this video, check that out. We did a very different dramatic look with a couple different lights, some colored gels, that kind of thing. But this guy threw all that away, natural light only, and it was a little darker at this time. It was more dim because the sun was going down, and it is in November, so the sun is setting quite a bit earlier, especially because I'm in the Great White North of Canada. So we are getting that sun coming low in the sky, but there's enough buildings around where we're not getting that harsh direct sunlight coming in, which would have been a very interesting look in and of itself. But this was a very soft light, and I really like how it lended to this kind of cinematic, very moody feel that we got going on here. It's that really dramatic side light coming in that creates this kind of like indie vibe. It's very cinematic. I really like how these turned out, and because it was a little dimmer, I did pump up my ISO about 1600 or so, and because I was shooting on the Canon EOS R, the grain was not that much at all, and the grain that was there honestly kind of works for it. It only adds to the overall feel of the photos that are coming out here, and honestly, if we didn't have that grain coming out in the photos, I probably would have added some to it anyways. This is one of those use cases where you look at it and the images just feel like they should have some grain to them. Like the earlier shots we did in the studio with that really dramatic look, that really didn't call for a lot of grain because it's that very clean and dramatic look. But this, getting into that more cinematic vibe where you have the toned down highlights and the lifted shadows really blended together, and that kind of soft, warm, bit of a green tint to everything. Having that added grain in there really helps it come across and sell the feeling that we're going for. So with that, I think these turned out super, super cool, and I'm really happy with the results. Like some of these sitting photos, some of these different ones, we were just playing around with the environment, leaning on different things, but I really wanted to have her close to that light so it would come across her face really nicely. Even when she was backlit, I did have a little trouble focusing because obviously you are shooting into a large light source and her entire face is in shadow. This is where maybe you'd want to bring in an additional light, but I wanted to challenge myself, quite frankly. So that is why we shot it all in natural light. And even though there was a little bit of hunting for focus going on there, the camera did focus very well, even with that in mind. And this is like the ultimate challenge for digital cameras with focusing, is trying to focus on a subject in shadow while shooting into a large bright light source. But it absolutely handled it like a champ, and I'm super happy with how these photos turned out. I hope you enjoy them as well. I'll be sharing a bunch of them on my Instagram, so feel free to check me out there at Finn_Badgley. And this is something you can do as well as a photographer to challenge yourself and step outside of your comfort zone so you can grow as an artist, is take something that you're usually not comfortable with. For me, that is shooting with natural light. I am very comfortable if you give me a bunch of lights and tell me go nuts, but if you just give me the sun, I'm a little more nervous. So that was a challenge for me, and I was absolutely up for the challenge, and I think personally I did a pretty good job. But this is something to keep in mind. If you want to grow as an artist, find those areas that you are uncomfortable with and put yourself in those spots so that way you can grow and you can learn as an artist and try different techniques, because that is how you're going to grow and make better art. And with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Maybe some entertainment, seeing me, somebody who never shoots natural light, shoot with natural light. Drop a like if you like this kind of thing, you want to see more of it from me in the future. Leave a comment letting me know some of your thoughts on the photos, and if you shoot natural light or you don't, and why. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos so you never miss an upload. Work hard, rest often, and as always, I will see you on the next one.